I could affront you with the spaghetti tapestry of professional credentials, but why bother? Warren Buffett is available, and his track record is much more stupendous than mine. He grew his initial investment of $105,000 into a $40 billion fortune over 40 years. I cut my grass yesterday. Let us start at the fundamental fountainhead as prescribed by Mr. Buffett, before moving on to tactical measures such as forecasting financial statements or business plan development. Let us build a small business that Warren Buffett would love. It's easier said than done. A preview. Regarding Buffett's second principle, with a strong track record of earnings, it is painfully obvious that a healthy business needs a strong track record of earnings in order to be viable. A business without earnings, which represent everything left over on the income statement after all the expenses, cost of goods sold, payroll, utilities, taxes, and so on, have taken their bite, is like a lawnmower without a lawnmower blade. It may be fun to circle the yard a few times, but after a while, the grass needs cutting. A for-profit business is in business to generate earnings, which in turn, when divided by the initial investment or equity, leads to a return. The bottom line on the income statement, earnings, represents the pulse of a business, and Buffett seeks out strong, steady, 10-year earnings track records. The entrepreneur should strive to generate strong earnings track records. If this is not a priority, then perhaps your time is better spent circling the yard on a bladeless lawnmower. Earnings lead to another empirical Buffett fundamental rule: return on equity. Return on equity can be thought of as the common size ratio used to illustrate the productivity of the equity in the business and can be used for comparison purposes. Think of it this way. If you put premium gas, equity, in a jalopy, business, the overall performance of the car will be poor, regardless of the gasoline grade. On the other hand, if you put the gas in a new Corvette, all things equal, the car performance should be much better. You can hug the corners, get stuck on speed bumps. Return on equity is used to distinguish a business jalopy from a Corvette, and is found simply by dividing earnings by the amount of invested equity. For example, a fourplex generating $10,000 in yearly earnings with $100,000 of invested equity is producing a 10% return on equity. $10,000 divided by $100,000. This rate of return is superior to a CD at the local bank that is coming in at 4%. In the context of cash flow and financial independence, the smaller the return, the greater the capital needed. For example, at a rate of return of 5% and monthly expenses of $3,000, it will take $720,000 of investment capital in order to generate $3,000 per month and be financially independent. At a rate of return of 10%, the required investment is only $360,000. Quite a difference, like half. A business plan is written once. Remember this also. A business plan is typically written once, but fundamentals are timeless and diamonds are forever. Sure, it is necessary to revise and update the business plan as economic conditions and business strategies dictate, but accurate business coordinates on a compass, as found in the investment principles of Warren Buffett, again, are timeless. Let us first build this rock-solid framework before adjusting the nuts and bolts. Bad pizza joint. Bad. I have worked with numerous struggling businesses lacking solid underlying fundamentals that could use a healthy dose of Buffett. Case in point, I recently met with the owner of a local pizzeria whose business has very little fundamental differentiation from the local mega chains. Net, his operation is embroiled in head-to-head competition with the likes of Domino's and Pizza Hut. The owner of the small shop works night and day and is very passionate about his business. Still, over the past 5 years, Domino's has spent an estimated $1.4 billion in national advertising in the United States. Although I am always fond of the underdog and tend to root for him, this is just one battle the small guy cannot win, at least not on this battlefield. What he can do, in following our plan to build a business that Warren Buffett would love, is create consumer monopoly differentiation and distinguish his business from the mega chains. Currently, his model is very similar